I'm going to record this so that we make sure that we've got things rocking and rolling. That's so awesome. Right as I hit record, one of my teammates, my team is so awesome. The team that you guys are going to have the opportunity to work with here, hey, they just sent me a message. Hey, press record. So we are recording. We are underway. So awesome. Welcome, guys. Let us know where you're calling in from. Clovis, California. Welcome from Clovis. I'm super excited to have you guys all here. This is going to be so, so cool. I apologize. If you see me glancing this way, I'm not trying to ignore you guys here. This happens to be where my monitor is. So this is where I can see the chat. So welcome, everybody. We got folks calling in from Murrieta, California, Rancho Bernardo. Awesome. Welcome, everybody, to the call. Okay. We're going to give maybe one more minute, and we're going to get this party started. And I call this a party because that's what this is. This is going to be a virtual party today. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Can you guys hear me okay? Let's just do a sound check. Make sure I've got the music playing in the background, but I got to make sure you can hear me okay too. Okay, we're getting yes, we can. Hold on, folks. Just send in a quick text message, and we are going to rock and roll. All right. Let me finish sending that text message. Boom. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn off my phone. I'm going to invite you guys to do the same. Let's go ahead and eliminate our distractions this morning. We're going to be together for maybe an hour, maybe, I don't know, we might even roll into an hour and a half. We'll see how long this takes us this morning. We're not going to spend any more time than we need to, but we are going to get you guys the information that you came for today, show you how you can join us in the world of real estate investing. In times when things are so crazy, there's so much uncertainty, and people are like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen to my job? What's happening? Can I continue to make the money that I need? Folks, here's what I know about real estate investing. Okay, I've been an investor for over 15 years. I've been through up markets. I've been through down markets. I've been through sideways markets. Here's what I've discovered. In real estate, you can make money in any market. So that's what we're here to share with you. You guys were invited from all sorts of different people. I don't know how you got here today, but I'm glad that you're here. And let me just tell you what we're going to talk about today, okay? Let me pop over to this real quick. There are two things. I need to adjust my screen here. There's two things that we're going to talk about today, guys, all right? And the two questions that are going to be the foundation of everything we discussed today. Those two questions, we're here to talk about real estate investing. We're here to talk about if this is a viable option for you. But I understand in order for you to make that decision, there's two questions that you got to be able to answer. Those two questions are as follows. Number one, the first question you got to answer for yourself is, can I do it? Can I do it? That's the first question that you're going to be analyzing for yourself. In this business of real estate investing, do you believe, can I do it? Yes. Okay. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here on a Saturday morning joining us if you didn't believe you could do this. Now, I don't know what it is that led you to your belief. Maybe it's you saw a show on TV, you saw other people doing it in your neighborhood, whatever, but you believe you can build a business in real estate investing. Cool. That's number one. Can I do it? I call that seedy. Do you see why? Can I do it? Seedy. Number two, the second question is it worth it? Can I do it, and is it worth it? As we talk about this today, this is the foundation of everything we're going to discuss. Can I do it, and is it worth it? We're going to spend the next hour and a half showing you properties, telling you about our system, letting you know how you can become involved with us. But really, if we don't answer these questions, can I do it, and is it worth it? Then you're not moving forward. You're not going to change. Nothing in your life is going to change if you don't believe you can do it and it's worth it. Everything that's worthwhile requires sacrifice. Would you agree? Okay, so this is the foundation. Can I do it? Is it worth it? Well, what brings people here today? Why do people spend a Saturday morning when they could be, I don't know, doing nothing else, right? They could be watching Netflix. They could be out enjoying the good weather, whatever it is. You chose to be with us this morning to check out this property tour. Well, why? Let's figure this out. Typically because people are looking for a better life. And the reason we're looking for a better life is because we end up living life by default. And what I mean by that is we go out and you make 100% of your income. This circle represents 100% of whatever you make. I don't care if it's 60,000. I don't care if it's 120,000, whatever it is, this circle represents your income. But regardless, before you ever touch your money, who's dipping into your pocket? That's right, Uncle Sam. A third of that goes to taxes. A third of your income before you ever get paid is going to Uncle Sam. Then another third of your income is going to interest to pay your credit card, your student loans, your mortgage, your auto, wherever. And all of that money goes away to interest, and you're left with 1/3 left for living expenses. And if you're like most Americans, you realize that's not going to cut it. That's not going to happen. So we got to figure out, there's got to be something better. How do we get to the better side of the equation? Well, that's what we call living life by design. Living life by design is taking and learning the skill set of to come in here and reduce your tax liability, reduce your interest expenses. I'm just curious, how many of you believe you pay too much in taxes? Now, I know I can't see you, but I got to believe that I got people online nodding their head like, yeah, I pay too much in taxes. Yes, you do. You realize that most Americans right now, they're still working from now until April 24th just to pay their tax liability for the year. That's it. From January 1 to April 24th, just to pay taxes. So what if there was a strategy out there to show you how you could reduce your tax liability by 2/3? That wouldn't interest you, would it? Of course it would. Well, what if on the flip side of that, what if we could do the same thing with interest? What if you could reduce the interest that you're paying on your mortgage, the interest that you're paying on your auto loans, your student loans, wherever your credit cards, wherever you're paying interest? What if there was a strategy to learn how to reduce that by 2/3? That would also interest you. Guys, I get it. We don't know. We're crippled. We're held back by we don't know what we don't know. So when we start living life by design, here's what happens. We take that going from just 30% to live on, and we can shift the graph where it looks like this, where we can get our effective tax rate down to about 10%. We can get our effective interest down to about 10%, okay? Which leaves us how much? How much does that leave us left over? Folks, that leaves us with 80%. 80% to live on versus the 33% in the other example. Did your income change? No, your income didn't change. What changed? The only thing that changed is how you funnel your money. You see, you're going to learn different strategies on how to save your taxes. You're going to learn strategies on how to save interest deductions or interest on your bills. It's so crazy. It's the simplest concept, but can make such a huge difference in people's lives. One of our students, he's fairly new at this. He's just been with us a couple of months. His name's Bill. And Bill, he was, in the tax perspective, he was overpaying on his taxes. Every year he was overpaying his taxes, and he would get back about a $7,000, $8,000 tax refund. And he learned a couple of strategies and learned how to reduce his tax liability and was able to take it from $7,000, and he got a refund this year of over $15,000. He was able to effectively double his return. And now he's realizing, wait a minute, that's $15,000. That's over $1,000 a month that he's paying into the system that they're giving him back. Is he getting any sort of a interest rate on that? No. So he is lending the IRS, he's lending the government money and getting no return. He's just getting his money back. So he's learning how to go in there, adjust his W-9, and start getting to the point that his paycheck is going to increase. His cash flow is going to increase by over $1,000 a month. Now, let me ask you guys, would $1,000 extra of your own money, would that be beneficial to you now instead of living on credit cards and waiting for April every year just to get your money back? Holy cow, yes, yes, and yes. Why don't we do this? Because we're held back. We don't know what we don't know. Folks, that is the biggest reason we don't already live our life by design, is because we don't know what we don't know. Well, today we're going to change that. I want to give you guys a solution where you can say, you know what? I'm sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired of living by default. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to start living life by design. Kendall, show me how that's done. Well, there's a system of how we do that. Before we talk about the solution, though, let's completely identify the problem of why we're held into the life of default. Number one is because we don't have the knowledge. We lack the knowledge to know how to go out there and change these things. It's the same thing with why don't we get into real estate? The reason we don't get into real estate investing is because we don't know how. If we knew how, if we knew all the systems, we'd already be doing it. Now I'm going to come to the chat here real quick. I'm going to ask you guys to tell me, help me help you. What else holds you back from investing in real estate besides lack of knowledge? Lack of knowledge is a huge one, but what else? What else holds you back from investing? Go ahead and go to the chat, type that in real quick. Lack of knowledge is definitely a big one. Michael says lack of money. Okay, what about lack of money? Michael, I'm also going to go ahead and put credit in there. What do you guys think? Okay, lack of money, lack of, okay, awesome. The support, the community, knowing trustworthy people, okay, time, working a full-time job. Man, it's like you guys know my script. I've done this presentation. I've shared this with so many people. Okay, bad gurus. Oh my gosh, yes. I've literally asked this question to thousands and thousands of people, and I get the same 4 answers. Number 1, they don't know what they're doing. They don't have the money or credit. They don't have the time. And the biggest one is fear. False evidence appearing real. See, so many of the things that you guys put here in the chat room or the chat, as I see what's holding you back, you don't need. People are like, well, money's holding you back. Okay, cool. I get it. But do you have to have your own money to do real estate investing? Yes or no? No, you don't. Do you have to use your credit to do real estate investing? Nope, you don't have to do that either. So folks, this is the challenge. This is what holds people back from investing. Well, I'm not here to talk about the problem today. Let's talk about the solution. How did I overcome these? Because when I got started in this business over 15 years ago, I had every single one of these. I didn't know what I was doing. I just graduated from college. I graduated with a degree in zoology. What the heck is that for, right? My original plan was to go to school and become a dentist. When I didn't get into dental school, I had to start looking for a plan B. That's when I found the world of real estate investing. But I found real quickly that I didn't know anything about this game. Nothing. I knew nothing about the world of real estate. Okay. I had no money. I had no credit. I was a college student making $20,000 a year. I had time. Fortunately, I did have time on my side, but I was fearful. I was fearful and I didn't know how to go out and do this business. And so I started going and I started learning about real estate. And the biggest challenge is I started increasing my knowledge, but the challenge was when it came time to learning about how to fund a deal, everyone's solution was, oh, just go get hard money. And I'm like, okay, cool, hard money. Hard money is going to pay for everything. And so I started doing my work and I realized I'm going to go borrow hard money. Well, what do you guys realize about the challenge of hard money? Do hard money lenders give you 100% of what you need? No, they don't. And so I'm like, oh man, how am I going to do this? And so I started and I was introduced, one of my buddies gave me the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he started teaching me about the concepts of why I should invest in real estate. But it didn't teach me how to invest in real estate. And I got super frustrated. And then I was invited down to a presentation very similar to what you guys are going to see today. And they told me, they said, look, Kendall, here's the reason why people don't invest, but here's how they can overcome that. And they had what was called an epic solution. And I said, the epic solution overcomes these obstacles. And they said, the first component, the only way that we're going to overcome our lack of knowledge is through what? Education. The foundation of everything we are going to discuss today is what? Education. I want you to repeat it. I know it's kind of weird because I can't hear you. You're on a webinar, but I want you to repeat this out loud. The foundation of everything we're going to discuss today is what? That's right. Education. When you're properly educated, what does that lead to? When you know this, when you have the skill set, when you have the tool set, when you have the proper mindset, that leads you into buying properties. Okay. Now you're like, wait a minute, but Kendall, I still don't have the money or credit. Folks, I've done over 400 transactions. Guess how many times I've used my money or my credit? Zero. Zero. Do you hear that? No times. I've not had to use my money or my credit. 0 times have I done that. Okay. Then when you do it properly, that leads to income. Income. Now there's 2 types of income. We can generate massive income and we can generate passive income. I want you guys to go ahead and put in the chat, what kind of income are you looking for? Massive or passive? And go ahead. How many of you are feeling greedy? There we go. Both. Yes. The answer is yes. Massive, passive, massive. Guys, there is nothing wrong with that. It is all about going out and generating massive, massive income. Okay. You can acquire massive income. You can acquire passive income. Today, through our strategies, we're going to show you both. The property that we're going to look at today, this is not a passive income property, but this is a massive income property to the scale that you've never seen before, to a scale that I have never seen before. This is going to blow your mind. I wish like crazy we could all be there in person, but the reality is health code just doesn't allow it. This property has been condemned. Literally, Luis, who we're going to meet in just a couple of minutes, Luis is there in a hazmat suit going into this property. That's how disgusting it is. But in the world of real estate, does that create opportunity for us? Yes, yes, and yes, folks. It's absolutely amazing. But the biggest component, the way that I'm like, okay, cool. So I can learn how to go out there and buy properties. I can learn how to generate income. But man, let's overcome this fear component. I've met people that have some knowledge. They have some access to money and credit. They even have time. And then they sit there and it's literally as though they're just sitting between this huge chasm. They're like, holy cow, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Here they stand on the edge and they don't know how to take the step and move forward. They don't know how to take the step because they don't have somebody to hold their hand. What they're lacking is the community to show them how to do this. Now, this analogy is applicable across all walks of life. Having somebody show you the way of how to accomplish something. It works in real estate. It works in sports. It works in business. This community is absolutely a massive, massive component of who we are and what we do. So many of the deals that I've done have come to me from other members of the community. People that are like, hey, you know what? I'm looking to go out and do this deal, but man, I'm a little bit scared. Could you help me? Could you walk me through this process? Could you help me go out there and make this happen? And you can literally partner up with people. You can partner up. I remember when I first got started, they told me that, Kendall, you only need 3 things to buy a property. 3 things was all you needed. Number 1, somebody needed to find the deal. And I said, oh, I can do that. I can go out and find deals. Number 2, somebody needs to put their money down on the deal. Now, this is in a traditional sense. If you're just going and getting a conventional mortgage, so somebody needs to put a down payment. And number 3, somebody needs to use their credit. I said, holy cow, I can go find the deal. And then if what they were saying was true, I could find people to fund it. And I could also find people to put their credit on the line. And from that point forward, I was like, oh my gosh, you show me the system to do that, I'm in. And folks, from that point, I've been able to move forward and do over 400 transactions. All because of what? Because there was a system. We're going to talk about the systems today. The foundation of everything is education. Okay, so we're going to talk about the systems, what we utilize, and how that works. And so many of you are going to be like, okay, but what's the catch, Kendall? There's always got to be a catch. Oh, does it just tick you off that we are so conditioned as a population to think there's got to be a catch to everything? Yeah, but you don't know my story. Yeah, but you can't do that. Yeah, but. And we are stopping ourselves before we ever get started. So folks, stop. Don't do that. Stop the insanity. What did Henry Ford say? He said, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. So let's go back to the beginning of this conversation. There's 2 questions we're going to answer. Can I do it? Is it worth it? In the chat, I want you guys to tell me, how many of you believe you can do it? Put down in the chat, share with me who believes I can do it. Say, yes, I do, or I can, or whatever you're going to put it in the chat. If you're like, nope, 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 not me, put that in the chat too. Look at this, guys. Look at the chat. You guys are seeing it. Everybody. Somebody just put ICDI. I know I can do it. Okay. I feel like I'm watching that movie. You can do it. Okay. Everybody, look, guys. We've got, what do we have? We have nearly 70 something people actually right now we're right at 70 people. 70 people on right now, and every single one of you are saying, yes, I can do it. 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 Okay, cool. I can, but I need that community, somebody says. I can, but I need that support. I need the support to go out and make it happen. Others of you are like, oh yeah, hey, I believe. Do you guys understand that this is the crux of it all? You've got to first believe you can do it. If you don't believe you can do it, there's nothing I can do for you. Because I can't do this business for you. I won't do it for you. You've got to take ownership, squarely put it on your shoulders and say, all right, I got this. I can do this. I can make it happen. So can I do it? Yes. All right. Now we're going to go back to the chat in just a second, and we're going to answer question number 2. If you're going to jump into this game, if you're going to jump into the game of real estate investing, and so we just answered, can I do it? And it was a resounding yes. Yes, across the board. Now let's go to, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Now, today we're going to talk about a fix and flip property. This is what we're looking at with the property today. So for today's example, I want you guys to step into the zone of, hey, you're going to be joining Weicho in just a minute in his hazmat suit, and you're going to be saying, yes, I believe I can do it. Now, the question, is it worth it? How much profitability would you have to generate for a fix and flip transaction to be worth you taking the risk? And I want you to go to the chat. I want you to type in your number. Is your number 20,000, 30,000, 40, whatever it is, type in the chat. How much do you need to make for a deal to be worth it for you to invest your time, energy, and resources into doing this deal? Go ahead and type it out. Let's see what comes down. Okay, I'm seeing 35 grand. I'm seeing 40 grand, 50, 60, 50, 10, 20, $1. Oh my gosh, I hope not. $1. Okay, cool. Maybe we're playing prices right. Okay, $20,000, $30,000, 35 grand. Okay, who else? Who else? You guys all believe you can do it. Now we start talking about money and it's crickets. People start going away. Now, if you believe you can do it, let's talk about it. Okay, 40 grand. Okay, keep typing. First deal, 10 grand. Minimum 20,000 or more to make it worth it. See, is it worth it? All of it. You guys like, I want all of the profit. I want all of it and then some. Okay, somebody here is talking about a wholesale contract. They're like, hey, I want 25,000 to flip it, 5,000 to assign it. See, the strategy can be whatever you guys are looking for. So we're across the board. We're anywhere from, I saw as low as $10,000 up to, let me scan back, I think 60, 70 was the high water mark. I can't remember. But can I do it? Is it worth it? So whatever the number is, I'm just talking to you. You and I, we're sitting down. I'm coming at you live face-to-face at your computer. What is the number for you? How many transactions do you have to do before you can accomplish your goal? Maybe your goal is to quit your job. Maybe your goal is to just supplement your income. Maybe your goal is to put aside financial reserves for a rainy day. I don't know. But whatever that number is, okay, and look, these are the numbers you guys just gave me right here, and then some, all over the board. But let's say that your goal was like mine was. Now, I'm not saying it has to be this, but my goal was to be able to replace my income, quit my job. That's what I wanted to do. I only had to make $20,000. $20,000. So now type in at your number, whatever it is, type into the chat, how many would you have to do a year to be able to accomplish your goal? I got somebody here saying 4, others 3. Okay. Some of you 2, 5, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay. So anywhere from, so I'm seeing 2 on the low end. So man, none of you guys were like me. There's no college students making only 20 grand that were like, I could freaking do one deal and I could quit my job. So I'm seeing anywhere from 2, 3, 5, 6 to 10, 10, 5, 2, whatever the number is, guys, this is your number. And it's really important that we make this about you. This is your number. Doesn't matter who else is on the line, what their number is. What is your number? Because I'm speaking to you right now and we're answering 2 questions. Can I do it? Is it worth it? So you tell me, can you do it? Yes or no? Yes. Is it worth it? How many of these houses would you have to do before you could walk away? Or before you could obtain the lifestyle that you're looking for, have that time freedom, the independence. Okay, now, if that's our goal, this is what we want to accomplish, well, is it worth it? Is the juice is what we want, is the juice worth the squeeze? You guys understand economics. Economics 101 says there's no such thing as free lunch. Believe me, we have the system. We have the system that's going to show you how to do this. I'm a product of the product, guys. I'm not sitting here trying to promote something that I myself have not participated in. Nope. On the contrary, this is the system that taught me how to become an investor. I've been raised up in the system and now I share it with others. But what's the catch? Well, there's no catch, but how do we get started? Well, our educational system is broken down into 2 categories. Because if you guys remember, the foundation of everything we discussed today is what? I told you earlier, the foundation of everything we discuss is education. So how does our educational services work? It's broken into 2 categories. Number 1, we're going to show you how to keep more of your money. Then we're going to show you how to grow your money. Remember that thing that I showed you where we're going to take you here and we're going to get you to 80%? We're going to show you how to go in there and start saving money on taxes, start saving money on interest. Well, that system, the offer that we offer, our educational service of that system is $19.97. That's to learn how to save more of your money. Now, we've got some examples that we're going to share with you later on that'll blow your mind. You're like, okay, $2,000, what's my ROI? Well, for Bill's ROI, his return on investment was 400%. Let me ask you, where are you putting your money that you're getting 400%? That's right, no place. Okay. So when we're looking at this, we're talking about educational services, but in all reality, when I looked at this from my perspective, I knew I was investing in me. I am my greatest resource. I am my greatest asset. Folks, as are you. Look, here we are on a Saturday morning. We are committed to growing and making things happen in our business. We're here making it happen. We're not sitting on the couch twiddling our thumbs, wanting for things to get better. No, we're taking action. So I said, okay, keep my money, 1997, grow my money, 17,997. Okay. Oh, wow. That is horrible writing, Kendall. Let's try that again. So to learn how to grow your money is 17,997. So I looked at that and said, okay, all in, I was just about 20 grand. And I looked at it and said, cool, I don't have 20 grand, but is it worth it? Is the juice worth the squeeze? I looked up here and I said, okay, Kendall, you go do one property, you can get your money back. You continue that process, you duplicate it over and over and over. You learn how to follow a system, do it time and time again, and generate the same result. And that's exactly what I did. And I'm like, okay, cool, let's make this happen. But the challenge was I didn't have 20 grand. And you might be looking there going, oh yeah, but see, Kendall can do this because he had financial resources. Well, I don't. Yeah, but, and already, yeah, but your yeah, but story is coming into effect and you're already starting to talk yourself out of why you can't do this. Stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it, guys. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. You're like, well, Kendall, yeah, but I don't have the money. Who cares? Neither did I. You don't have a money problem. You have an idea problem. And it just might be that you have no idea how you're going to find the money. Cool. Stick with me. We can solve that too. Here's what I know. Every single person has the ability to get started. Every person has the ability to get started. So it might be as little as putting $400 down and using a finance program. Okay, so be it. Is it worth it? Yes. What is the result we're looking for, not the obstacle that's right in front of us? All right, then I knew that with my situation, I'm like, okay, I knew I could follow a system and go buy a house. I'd seen so many people do it. But then they offered something even better. They said, what if you could earn money while you learn to invest in real estate? And I'm like, that would be friggin' amazing. What are you talking about? Well, Bob Snyder, the founder of our company, is an absolute genius. He's a genius, and he provided a system where he talks to his students, he talks to guys and gals like you and me, and says, you know what, Kendall, we're gonna pay you to talk about us. Meaning we're gonna pay you when you go out and market our educational services. There's a one-time qualification, and once you're qualified, we're gonna put $1,000 into your pocket when you enroll somebody into the Keep Your Money education. Once you're qualified, they enroll in our educational services, they're gonna pay you $1,000. It's $1,000. Are you kidding me? And then over here on the Grow Your Money, they said over here, we're going to pay you $9,000. Add that up. Guys, that's 10 grand. $10,000 for me going out and sharing with other people how to go out and invest in real estate. And so I looked at this as the big package because I'm a big picture guy. And I said, wait a minute. So you're telling me that once I come in and this right here, this is what we call the extreme combo. And my enroller, Justin, he taught me, he said, look, Kendall, you buy the extreme combo, you sell 2 more extreme combos, you're qualified. You're qualified at the highest position to make this $10,000. I said, wait, what? Because I knew, again, once I was qualified, how many of these did I have to do to replace my income? 2. So check this out, guys. This was my first year. When I first got started, this is what my first year looked like. I went out there, and it took me 9 months to do my first real estate deal. 9 months. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of learning, right? That's a lot of learning to figure out how to do this. So 9 months to do my first deal. But that first deal, guess what? I did it with no money. I did it with no credit because the system taught me how. I didn't learn any of that crap in zoology. I learned how to do it with our system. Well, on that deal, I made $50,000 on my first deal. And I'm like, oh my gosh. This works. This works so well. But I didn't wait until I had success to go out there and share it with other people. I started learning things about taxes, how you can save money on taxes. I started learning what you could do with self-directing retirement accounts. I started learning the possibilities of investing in real estate. And I just started having conversations with people and asked them, hey, have you ever considered investing in real estate? Now, let me ask you, have any of you considered, like, have you ever made a recommendation to somebody? Have you made a recommendation to somebody for a restaurant, for a concert, for a movie, whatever? Have you made recommendations to people? Yeah, of course you have. Well, as did I. I made recommendations and I started talking to people about the Renata system. And you know what? In my first year, I helped 6 people to get started. 6 people to get started in their own business venture, become a real estate investor, and boom, $60,000. $60,000 put into my pocket, plus the 50 grand that I made there. My first year was $110,000. $110,000 because I was learning how to make this happen. Now, folks, you got to ask yourself, can you do it and is it worth it? Okay? Can you do it? Is it worth it? Absolutely. So we're here today to talk about real estate. We're talking about, let's figure out if we follow the system, what's possible. So today is a little different. Normally we're sitting inside a property, we're having a conversation inside the property, and we're showing you, we want to prove to you that we don't just talk about real estate, we are real estate investors. So today we're bringing you virtually one of our properties from Luis Medina. Luis Medina has been investing for about 6 years. And I call him Huicho, so you're gonna hear me call him Huicho the whole time. When Huicho got started, he was already a successful investor before he found us, before he found our system. And yet he still decided to come on board and to get started. So let's bring Huicho on. He's at his property right now. This is where we're gonna leverage technology to the best of our ability, guys. We're leveraging technology and we're hoping his internet connection is good to go. Huicho, are you there, my friend? Let's see, I don't see you coming out here. There he's coming. I see him. Well, here's Huicho in his hazmat suit. Hey guys, this is gonna be pretty freaking awesome. So here we've got Huicho at his property, and we're gonna talk. He's gonna walk us through the property. He's gonna go through and show us what's possible. Okay. As we're going through this, guys, I want you to think about: is this something you could do? Could you find the property? Did you find the homeowner that's having trouble? We're going to discuss 4 things today with Huicho's property. We're going to talk about these 4 F's of real estate. How do you find the deal? How do you fund it? How do you fix it? And how do you flip it? Find, fund, fix, and flip is what we're going to discuss with Huicho. But I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to Huicho for the time being. He's going to walk us through this property. We may interrupt him for a couple of questions. But let's go check this out. Huicho, why on earth are you in a hazmat suit?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, man.
Okay, cool. So here's the thing. The one reason I'm in this suit is because I remember one of the times I came, I was standing next to the homeowner and a cockroach jumped from her shoulder to mine. And my natural reaction was just to swap it away, and it went back into her shoulder. So that was kind of cool, you know, like it was something I had never experienced. But I mean, this house is full of critters. Like I was telling you a couple of days ago, I mean, we pulled out a dead dog, a dead cat. It smells. I mean, you could imagine it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Every sink, every toilet is clogged to its capacity. The tubs are black, covered in mold everywhere. I mean, beyond what I've ever experienced. I've been in some filthy houses, but never something this impactful. As soon as you walk in, you know, you get a headache. You get a headache. You feel the filth in your pores when you walk in this property. I mean, last time I came in here, I think there was 7 cats inside. You can hear, you know, crippling there and, you know, scratching there, little weird noises. So I figure those are either rats the size of raccoons or the size of cats. I mean, I'll let you decide, but I'm going to say they're huge. And this person was living in this house under this condition. You know, we helped her solve the problem that she was facing. She just didn't know what to do. that's pretty much it. She said she was tired. She didn't know how to go about fixing it. We came in, helped her, got her into a better place, and now we're left with this, I don't know what to call it. But let's go inside. I'm going to flip the camera. I'm going to put my mask on. I'm going to yell a little louder just to get through the, project through the mask. Hopefully it doesn't interfere with the audio. You guys let me know. And I'll just have to take deeper breaths if I have to. One thing I will tell you, I'm not going to show you the front of the house. And that is because the house is now vacant. It is condemned from the city of Ontario. I got a list for 64 violations, anywhere from vehicles in the driveway to unpermitted structures attached to the property. I'll show you what those look like and why the city wants them gone. So there's 64 violations that we have to fix for them to be able to take the tag off this house. You know, anywhere from electrical, gas, windows, structure, just the stench. I mean, it's bad. I think this house, with safely, it has to be open for a good 2 weeks to get enough ventilation through to help get rid of some of the stench while we're cleaning it. But let me flip the camera, and then you guys can check it out. We good?
Yeah, man, we're good. We can see you. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right. So I'll go that far just to show you what, you know, some of the overgreen stuff. This is pretty normal nowadays, especially going with green, right? Or water saving policies. Don't mow your lawn, I guess. Anyways, this is the very first window. You can already see all the cobwebs on the other side. Okay. So we're gonna walk in. There's a stove right in the front.
That's a good place for it.
Right. Cobwebs everywhere. I mean, obviously deferred maintenance every single square inch of this house.
So guys, as Weicho walks through this property, here's what I want you to do. I told you, I want you to put yourself in his shoes. This is the situation he's walking into. He's found a homeowner. This is the situation in which they're living. Now, can you do it? Is it worth it? This is a property you may be walking into. This is a potential profit for you. Can you stomach it? Now, I can't imagine what it smells like in there, but knowing you found multiple dead animals in there, it can't be good. So I want you to think about, can you do this process? And also, can you also make a mental checklist of what kind of work needs to be done? Okay. All right, Weicho, go ahead.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, you can't really zoom into the camera with this, but the whole ceiling line is full of cobwebs. That's the smallest of my concerns. There's multiple leaks everywhere, but it just shows you how long it's been sitting. This is a living room, or what's left of it. There's just stuff everywhere. I mean, as soon as you open the door, that stench hits your face. I'm not kidding you. I almost dare any one of you to come out here with no mask and then go home with a headache. But this is what she was living in. You know, the carpet is actually sticky. Okay. I'm going to say that's urine, you know, dog and cat feces. I mean, it's just overwhelming.
We got people saying, I'm sure glad this is a virtual tour.
Right. This is the kitchen. This is what the sink looks like.
Wow. Oh my gosh. How long has that water been sitting there?
I don't know. I'm afraid that if I move it, something's going to come out.
Oh my gosh.
Like a crocodile or something. So this is the kitchen. She was only using her microwave to eat. There's no gas in the house. It's been like that for some time now. I mean, you see these every single door frame. I mean, it's everywhere. So I'm standing, this bag in front of me is waist high. And I'm gonna lower my phone. This is waist high, and you can see the rest of the stuff. I mean,
Wow.
it just.
So what are your thoughts as you're going through this process, as you're walking through this, Huicho, and you're looking at this, because we're going to get to the numbers in just a couple of minutes. But what is going through your mind as an investor as you're taking a look at this?
Get out of here.
Get out as quickly as possible.
Right. So, there's various things that we have to visit right now because of the coronavirus. Building officials, all the city building departments are shut down. We can't get information as far as deadlines, and they need some engineers involved in this application for permits. This is the garage. I mean, I really just want to get some clarity from the city what to do to just jump on it, get it out of here, clean it up, and start doing what we do.
I mean, you've got multiple 40-yard dumpsters worth of trash just in junking out that place.
Oh yeah. This is a three-car garage, and I mean, there's a bunch of stuff. I don't think anything could be salvaged because it's so contaminated.
Yeah.
Plus, we're not in the business of selling personal belongings, right? We're gonna go.
Know if there's a car there underneath all the trash.
Yeah, there is a car somewhere there.
Wow.
So this is I'm going up the second floor.
So Huicho, as we're going through this, let's change the conversation a little bit. We'll just you can be our eyes and just continue to show us the property. But let's start having a conversation about, okay, why was there an opportunity here? Who is living in the property? What's the situation? And let's start having a conversation of how you helped, because somebody was living here in this condition. They were living here. They had a problem, and you were able to step in and help solve that problem. Let's talk about, how did you find this deal? Hey, there you are. What's up?
So this deal was found by Javier Morales, one of my partners. And he got led to this property. He's a member of our community. He got led to this property by using, one of our simple tools. He got an alert for a foreclosure, and he just came and did what he knows how to do best, which is come and try to figure out how he could be of assistance. He engaged with the lady in a conversation, and then got to a point where he got stuck, and he reached out. He said, "You know what, dude? I need some help." And then that's where I came in, started helping, leveraging each other through the process. She didn't know what to do. She didn't know how to get out of the situation. We established rapport with the lady, got out.
Oh my gosh.
This was full of water. So that water is now in the kitchen. The kitchen's underneath.
And again, this property is in Ontario, California, that's a nice area.
Right. Yeah, it's a nice area. But yeah, she didn't know what to do. She didn't know what to do. What was the next step? She was afraid. She was hiding. She was hiding, running away from the circumstances. Her family members you know, they didn't want nothing to do with her whatsoever. I don't know why. Up to this day, I don't understand. But she was pretty much left alone. Her health was just falling quickly, and the last thing she wanted to do was deal with all this. You know, so us as an educated team and community, we come assess her with her needs. Now she's in a better place right now. She's not currently living here. Uh, and then just, you know, she's 90 years old. She's really just living the last days of her life in dignity with clean, you know, clean eating, having her medicine, bathing, you know, going to the restroom properly. And then I just told her, you know, leave the rest to me. You know, don't worry about the rest. Don't worry about the homes. Right now, let's get you to a better spot. So we went through that, and then I'm gonna take my mask off now. You can see the extent of the damage out here, and she was never gonna, you know, she was never gonna deal with this in no way or form.
Oh, no way. 90 years old. She doesn't have the capacity. She doesn't have the physical capacity, the financial capacity, and probably even the mental capacity to handle this. So here's what I'm going to do, guys, as Huicho continues to walk around the property. Huicho, you just keep doing what you're doing. I'm just going to pull my video back up so that I'm going to put a couple of things on the screen that our attendees at home can see. All right. So this deal was found, and this deal was found through door knocking. Javier received a lead. He went over and found a deal. Now, the interesting thing is this house was going into foreclosure. Okay, so you were able to help stop a foreclosure, but this is one of the components that absolutely blows my mind on this property are the numbers. So let's talk about the numbers as you continue to walk around, because this is fascinating. Don't stop what you're doing. Continue to show, and let's just have a conversation. So the mortgage balance, how much is left on the balance of the mortgage of this home, Luis?
$9 grand.
Did you guys hear that? $9,000. $9,000 is all that's left on this house, and it's going into foreclosure. So Javier receives a message, and he goes out there and he says, hey, I'm going to find it. He goes out and finds it through our systems, through our third-party systems, and then, okay, he goes out, and you had to go out and you had to bring everything current. You had to reinstate you had to bring it current because it had been, I mean, missed payments for months and months and months. How much did it cost you to reinstate this?
Close to 30 grand.
Okay, so $30,000. $30,000 to reinstate it. So you're in that thing at $39,000 so far. Okay, so folks, this is when we find it and fund it. When we're talking find and fund, you're into this for just under 40 grand for the entire acquisition. You buy the house, you get her to transfer over the title, the ownership. So right now, you own this house.
Right.
You own the house, and you've worked out an arrangement with her, which we'll talk about in just a couple of minutes. So you're into this thing for just under 40 grand acquisition. Holy cow, how many of you online could put that on a credit card? You could buy the house on a freaking credit card if you needed to. We're talking $40,000, okay? Now, that's just to get it to this point. Let's talk now about how much is it gonna be in renovations. We're seeing what's going on here. I mean, this is really about fixing and flipping a property. This is nothing more than, guys, I look at this and yeah, it's filthy, it's disgusting. I've done over 400 properties. Luis, you've done over 4 dozen properties, almost 50 properties. Is there anything here that scares you, or is this just a fix and flip? I mean, you got to clean it all out and you got to go in and replace what's broken and fix it. How do you view this property?
Right. Yeah. This is aside from the filth and the smell, it's a fix and flip.
Yeah. And so you've estimated a budget. You've gone through this, and you're a contractor, and you've estimated what's your rehab budget going to be on this?
Not knowing what the city's looking for, $150,000.
So $150,000 is going to be the rehab budget, because there's going to be a whole bunch of things that may need to be cured up with the city. I mean, normally 150 grand, guys, it is nowhere near $150,000 to fix up a 2,200 square foot house, right? Nowhere near it. But you've got, this has been condemned by the city. So you got to go take care of all of those fines. You got to go take all of that with the city, and you're looking at $150,000 in rehab. Now let's talk about how are you going to fund it? Are you going to borrow the money? Are you going to self-fund it? How do you fund a transaction like this?
We're going to borrow the money.
You're going to borrow the money. So let's say, so your rehab and your acquisition, let's say you're all in at $200,000. Over the course of, how long do you think it's going to take you to flip this?
Let's say six to 8 months.
6 to 8 months. So let's do simple math for Kendall. Let's say that you're borrowing $200,000 at 10%. Over the course of a year, if you hold on to that thing for an entire year, that's $20,000 in money costs, okay? So guys, let's do the math here. He's into it for a total of $210,000. 210, that helps you to acquire the house. It helps you to fix it up. It helps you to do everything with the city. Now, it's a mess. We can see that, okay? But Huicho, let's let the cat out of the bag. And I'm not talking about the dead cat that you found on the property. I'm just talking about the cat. Let's let the cat out of the bag. In Ontario, California, this property, once it's fixed up, and this is what we're talking about, guys, we always start with the end in mind. We start with the ARV. Okay, we start with the after repair value. You take out all of your purchase, or excuse me, you take out your rehab costs, all of your acquisition costs, your money costs, everything, and then you're going to get down to your purchase price. Well, we already know the purchase price here. Okay, we already know that he's in at $210,000. Huicho, what's this house worth?
It's around 580, 600,000.
So the after repair value is anywhere from $580,000 to $600,000, depending on the comps. Folks, do the math. Do the math. That puts you in the ballpark of a profit over $400,000. Now, are these results typical? No. You guys, none of you, when I said, is it worth it? None of you even put out there that you were looking to make $400,000. And Huicho, you're not, like, this is a 90-year-old lady that you're not in here trying to take advantage of her. She's got a situation here. You negotiated a fantastic win-win situation for her. How did you negotiate the profit split on this deal?
We're at a 60-40.
60% 40 split, which, guys, let's do the math here. 60% goes to the seller. This goes to the property owner. And it's a little bit unfortunate because here's the part that you told me is you said that her family is just ignoring her. They're not even stepping in to help anything. She's 90 years old. The reality is that $240,000 is most likely going to her heirs, right? At some point down the road.
Right.
And it's unfortunate because they're not even doing anything to help the current situation. But you as an investor, you're able to help step in, solve the problem, and you're still going to walk away with ballpark of $160,000 profit. Now it's going to take anywhere from 8 months, 6 to 8 months. But folks, as we start having the conversation, can I do it? Is it worth it? How many of you would be open to even a fraction of $160,000 profit? I mean, open to even a fraction of that. Folks, this is what we do. So Huicho, now, I mean, your next step is literally start working with the city, start junking out the property. Walk us through the process. What's next? After you get things remedied with the city, what is your course of action? What's your process on this?
Look how bad this is. Look at, I can just tear pieces of wood.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I think some termites have been well fed.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so the process now is first step, flip the camera. Okay, so it is getting connected with the city, code enforcement, building department. They are requesting an engineer to take over and come assess all the unpermitted construction and go through that process. But once we have a green light from the city, clean it up, obviously discard a lot of the stuff that is not salvageable, because the heirs all of a sudden show up because they love grandma and they love mom with for the chunk of the pie. They're gonna want some of the stuff around the property, so put that aside, start the flip, and then put on the market. You know, it is unfortunate that there's such a great opportunity here for, I'm going to say this, a lot of scavengers to show up out of nowhere and just wait for her to pass while they enjoy the benefits of what she's created in her term.
Yeah. You know, let me ask you some of the questions that I'm getting here. Somebody said, well, what about the recession? I want to address that for a second. What about the recession? Well, folks, that has not been reflected in the real estate market yet. Is it coming? I don't know. But let me ask you, even if it takes a 25% hit, a 50% hit, and he's still making 200,000, would you be okay with that?
Totally, every day.
Freaking amazing.
Yeah, the trick is when you make your money when you buy. We buy low, we sell high. So when you buy right, one recession could come on top of the other, and you could still be able to have time to move around and even identify your exit strategies. Yes, the work is considered essential. This is why right now the rules, I'm just answering one of the questions that popped up. Is it an essential? 3 components. It is a hazard to the city. There's electrical shortages, and there's overflown leakages everywhere. So for now, it is an essential. It's red tag. They don't want anyone around. I shouldn't even be here right now. But it is an essential. Back to your point, Kendall, when you buy low, I mean, you could literally sit on it and not do anything if you wanted to,
right?
And not worry about the recession.
Right. Okay. When you're buying a house for $40,000 in Ontario that has a potential ARV of 580 to 600,000, my goodness, that's freaking amazing. So Weicho, thank you so much. Thank you for providing this virtual property tour. That is awesome. Now, this is, Weicho, why don't you, as you're exiting the property, just share us your story. Give us your story as you're walking out. Tell us a little bit about why you decided to get started with Renatus.
Well, I've had success as a real estate investor in other platforms, in other companies, buying education. If you ever want to know who's bought every single educational package out there, that is me. I bought everything thinking I needed further information. Well, you know what I discovered once I came and was exposed to the Renatus platform was that every single one that I've touched before, it almost feels like they've been through Renatus and then taken tidbits and bits to create their own platforms, But I always worry about my hair. It looks good still.
Looking good, man. Looking
yeah,
good.
Okay. But yeah, I was really stuck where I was at. The education I had before, the platform I was working with before, hit a plateau. It was a good beginner, rookie, student level type of education. And I couldn't grow off of that. And, my entrepreneurial mindset and my curiosity in developing my business furthermore, I couldn't go anywhere with what I had. So when I came to Renatus, I seen the massive amount of education that I was exposed to. And I said, this is a no-brainer, man. If I'm already having success with the basics, now I get to excel with advanced education and learn even more tricks, more strategies that I had ever never even dreamt of. I thought I knew it all. Guess what? I mean, there's always room to keep on growing and educating yourself furthermore. That's where I'm at. I'm enjoying the successes. I'm growing alongside my team, my community, and I'm excited for everything that's to come, man.
That is awesome. Weicho, thanks so much, man. Thanks for taking the risk. Thanks for going out to that property. Thank you for helping this homeowner out of a bad situation. Sometimes real estate investors get a bad rap because there's a lot of people that go out and take advantage of people like this woman and would give her nothing. They just take the 40 grand, take the problem off her shoulders, and that's it. No, we're
Right.
all about solving problems and making it a win-win situation. So, Wicho, thanks for acting with integrity. Thanks so much for letting us come in and view your property. And we'll be talking with you more on Wednesday, guys.
All right.
Thanks, Wicho.
I'm gonna disconnect.
All right, buddy.
Enjoy, guys.
All right, we'll see you soon. So, guys, I mean, that is the business of real estate investing. Sometimes it's dirty, sometimes it stinks. And here's the thing: somebody said, "Man, that's a lot of work for $50,000." Yeah, well, that's if the market took a dramatic cut, folks. That's not happening right now. Okay, but even if it did, would you be okay? Yes. And here's the beauty of it: when you start learning this system, it's a function of learning how to go in there and actually get other people to go in and do the work for you. So let me see, we got a couple of questions here. How do you remove the stench from the concrete, the walls, the flooring, the patios? Is it a tear down? No, it's not. There's a lot of ways. We've got a lot of investors on our team that have experienced this. There are companies that you can hire that go in, and this is their business. They go in and they can sanitize everything. They can go in, sanitize the walls. They don't have to remove all of the concrete, or excuse me, all of the drywall. There's systems in place of companies that you can hire to go in there and get a new clean bill of health. Okay. So super awesome. I'm super stoked, guys. This is an amazing, amazing system. So today we start the conversation. We start the conversation today, but then we're going to invite you to come down and learn more about who we are and what we do on Wednesday night. Now, I want to have an opportunity for you guys to hear from some of our other students of what's going on. How has this Renata system helped them in their business? What have they been able to accomplish? Because like Wicho, we've had students that have come out here and purchased other programs and still decided after, one of the guys in particular, a gentleman by the name of Matt, he spent tens of thousands of dollars with another company. I'm going to invite him to come out and share his story. What was his experience? Because when he got started, he was just like everybody else. He was struggling. He was looking for support. He was looking for a community. He didn't want to do this business by himself. He wanted to be in business for himself, but not by himself. Matt, go ahead and share your story, would you please?
Thanks, Kendall. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is an amazing community and it's an amazing system. You know, I had invested some money in other programs, other guru programs, and there was just some gaps in the information that I got. They basically taught me how to become a wholesaler, and they taught me to go to Rehab clubs, and then they taught me to, you know, call bandit signs. That's basically the amount of information that I got from them. And you know, I was glad because I actually started taking some action and doing some work. I was able to buy a property, and I was actually able to sell that property last year, and I just made a little over $100,000 on it. And that was my first deal. I was really excited for that. It was a duplex that I bought. I rented it for 5 years. It nearly doubled in value. And then what I did was a couple months ago, I took the money from that and put it down on a small apartment building in the Midwest. And so going forward, I love, you know, fix and flips are fun. I had a chance to do a fix and flip about a year and a half ago in Paris. $1,000 on that. It was awesome. None of my own money, none of my own credit in the deal. But I really learned from this education that my investor ID is to be more of a landlord, to have rentals, to have passive income coming in. And that's what lights me up. And that's what I enjoy. I'm grateful to have an extra $1,000 a month coming during this.
I've seen a few on there, but the text was.
Hey, Mark, mute, buddy.
My text was.
Mark, you're off mute, buddy.
Mark, you're off mute. Anyway, great. So, yeah, so I've been able to develop some passive income, and you know, I've been able to work with other them get a good return on their investment too. And the cool thing about it is, like, I'm talking with my little sister about buying a property with her, buying some rental property with her. I'm making offers on more rental properties, and I am gonna have a portfolio of rentals. So that's what I am creating with my business. And that's what lights me up. That's what I'm passionate about. And it's all because of the information that I've learned with Renatus. You know, I invested fully in education. I put down the 20 grand. I watched my classes. I've gone through several of them 2-3 times. I'm a knowledge junkie. I really want to know what's going on because I really feel like that's the best way for me to mitigate risk for myself for my investors and to create a successful business. And, you know, I'm absolutely passionate about sharing this with people too. I know that I've seen other people create these kind of results. 2 people that I shared this business with, one of them has 9 doors paying him rent every single month. And then the other one, he's got 26 doors. And once he gets, he's got an offer in on a 13-unit building, have 39 doors. Already he makes $8,000 a month of passive income. Pretty soon that's going to go up to 10,000 or more. And so I'm just really, really stoked for what this opportunity has been able to create for me, but also what it's been able to create for others that I've shared it with. So
that's what it's about. And it really works, doesn't it, Matt?
It does, absolutely.
You know, and actually I'm going to rephrase that, guys, because let me show you. It's not, when people always ask, I hate this question. Does it work? Okay. People ask me this all the time. Does it work? That's the wrong question. It enables you to put the responsibility someplace else. No, not does it work. The real question is, does I work? Do you work? Are you willing to do the work? Because if you work, guess what? This system will work. If you don't, it's not going to work for you. So Matt, thank you so much. Thanks for coming out and sharing your story. I want to hear from another guy that got started with this. This is a young guy that he was in the construction field. He had some experience. He was working a warehouse job. And, you know, he's like, man, that's just not working out for me. Unfortunately, he got laid off. He got laid off, started working back in personal fitness. He was a personal trainer. And he knew that he had to make things happen. He needed to make a change in his world, really got passionate about wholesaling properties. And I know many of you are interested or have a potential interest in wholesaling properties. And I want Giovanni to come out and share his experience, what his experience was with us when he got started, and share some of his results. Giovanni, it's all you, man.
All right, thank you guys. So yeah, so like Kendall was talking about, my name is Giovanni. I'm here from Riverside. And I have a construction background, right? So I was working in construction about 2.5 years ago. And I was earning a pretty good amount of money. I was earning $35 an hour. I felt like it was good at the time. And then I got laid off, right? And then I went back into a warehouse job. So I literally went from earning $35 an hour to $12.50. So it was a humongous cut for me. It really humbled me, but it wasn't something that I wasn't passionate about because, I mean, my intention was never to go into a warehouse job. It was just a situation that presented itself. And then after being in that warehouse job, I soon realized that, you know, I was frustrated. I was really depressed and just felt worthless. So somebody invited me down to a property, which is kind of like what you guys seen today virtually, but it was in person. And I realized that most of the people that were in that property were achieving the results that I wanted to achieve, right? I wanted the time freedom. I wanted the financial freedom. And I knew that these people knew something that I didn't. So when I got started, it took me a while to get off the ground and start rolling because of my job. I didn't have that time flexibility. But about 6.5, or I would say 7 months ago, blessing in disguise hit me. I got into a car accident, head-on collision. And from that moment on, literally in that, I would say that 10 seconds of that happening, my life just passed me by, and I was like, you know what? I cannot keep doing what I'm doing because I'm not satisfied. You know, I don't feel like I'm living life on purpose. So then that's when I decided to go full time. I said, I'm not gonna go back. I committed to plug into my classes, plug into the community, and maximize my time. And ever since then, I've been able to close 6 wholesale transactions. Been able to make more money than I've ever made in both of my jobs combined. Like this month, I broke just under $20,000. And I mean, it may seem like a lot, or may seem like a little bit for some people. For me, coming from a background of, you know, never earning more than $5,000 a month, has been like, you know, a game changer for me. So now my mindset is to get back and show other people what I've learned so they can create those results in their life as well. So I'm really grateful for this opportunity, really grateful for everybody in the community. And for anybody out there that, you know, has some idea to get to know who we are more in person, I would definitely recommend you continue to plug in and see exactly who we are, because this can literally change your life.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Giovanni. I appreciate that, because, you know, it's amazing when you have the right tools, the right system, the right support. And you've been wholesaling, making that your focus for how long?
For actively about 6 months.
And you've generated how much?
Over 6 figures.
Over 6 figures in 6 months. And you're also part of our sales force. You're recommending people to this too. How's that working out?
It's amazing. it's amazing. Like I said, the financial freedom that I've been able to generate in this last 6-7 months have been just outstanding. It's just mind blowing. But it's possible. I mean, if it's possible for me, it's possible for every single person on this line here today.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Giovanni. Hey, well, thank you so much for sharing your story. While Giovanni was there, I was looking at some of the questions we had there, and people are asking, hey, how do you know that once you do the remediation that this is all going to be taken care of? Folks, that's what you're going to learn in the system. The system is, it's all about education. What gives us that fear and what gives us the uncertainty right now is we just don't know what we don't know. When you come in and tap into the resources of our community, there's remediation companies for everything. There's remediation companies, and since this has been tagged by the city, chances are Luis is going to have to do extra level of effort to make sure that he gets all the permits and everything cleared from the city. But there's remediation for termites, there's remediation for rodents, there's remediation even for air quality. We've used them all. And one of the houses, literally, I bought a house one time that the lady was going into foreclosure and she felt bad. She had 19 cats, 19 cats, and she wouldn't take them to the animal shelter because she thought it was a kill shelter and they were all going to be killed, put to death. And so she moved out of her house and left 19 cats inside the property with just food and water available. Can you imagine the smell when we walked into that property? Oh my gosh, it'll make your head spin. But really, it was just like any other property. There was something we had to deal with there, and we did. We hired a remediation company in, and they had a solution that they sprayed on the walls and on the concrete. Then we had to seal the walls, and we actually had to seal the concrete in that regard. But there is a solution for every problem. Well, before we wrap up for today, I want to hear one more student. I want to hear Kim Evans' story, because today we start the conversation. Wednesday night, we're going to continue the conversation. And part of what we're going to show you on Wednesday is how you can dramatically reduce some of the interest that you've been paying on your mortgages, your student loans, and so forth. And I want you to hear Kim's experience and what she's been able to do in her world and what kind of a shift she's had by coming in and following a system. Kim?
Hi, guys. This is super cool. This is a great way to connect, right? Even when we're just being online. And I love seeing so many ladies online, right? This business sometimes can be, there's a lot of men who look at that, but I love that there's so many women. And when I found this team about 7 years ago, I wanted something that I could integrate what I was doing full time, which at the time was being a stay-at-home mom. I have 5 kids and I was super dedicated to that. And that's what I wanted to continue doing. But I wanted something that would integrate with that and I could do full-time or, you know, with what I was already doing full-time. So since then, I've been able to do a lot of cool things, really contribute financially to our world. And it's allowed my husband to stop working 40 to 60 hours a week. And he works about 35, 40 hours a week. And a lot of that financial pressure is off of his shoulders, right? We, at one point we had 21 rental properties. We've sold some of those, repositioned some of that. We still have rental income. We have done about 45 deals, and we've done fix and flips. We've done money lending. We've done buy and hold properties and different things. And so check it out. If there's anything here that you see, that's what I would ask yourself. If there's anything here that piques your curiosity, that you're like, man, I wish I knew how to do that, you know, come back. Kendall's going to invite you just to get back with the person who invited you. Come back Wednesday night at 7, get more information, see what it would look like to work together. And you deserve it. You deserve to come and check everything out. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kim. And guys, that is today. I hope we've addressed and answered the 2 questions. The 2 questions that I was most wanting to deliver on is, can you do it and is it worth it? We have educational services that can enable you to go out and absolutely crush it in this business if you're willing to take action. If you go out there and make things happen, go out, do the steps, follow the system, you can go out there and make these kind of incomes. Now, this property we showed today, is this typical? No, not on your life. This is not typical in any sense. Not typical in the sense of finding a hoarder property like that. Not typical in having to move somebody into a new location. Typically in my business, I buy a house and it's lipstick on a pig. It needs paint, carpet, a little bit of landscaping, some granite appliance or some granite countertops, new appliances, and I move in, I move out. On average, I don't make anywhere near $200,000, $160,000 per flip. On average, I'm making $25,000 to $35,000 per property. So ladies and gentlemen, as we wrap up for today, let me come back here real quick. As we wrap up, I hope we've been able to answer the question, CD Iwi, can I do it and is it worth it? I'm not here to make your decision. I'm simply here to collect your decision. If you're like, you know what, this is awesome. I love what I see. I'd like to get more information. Then I invite you to come join us. Come join us Wednesday night, 7 o'clock Pacific. Get back with the person who invited you. You see, this meeting today was by invitation only. The only way you got the link is you reached out to somebody, they shared with you the information. Get back to the person who invited you to attend this webinar. I look forward to seeing you guys on Wednesday night. Thank you so much to Wicho for sharing the property with us. Guys, go out there, create a great day, enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you all soon. See you later, guys.